Hey everyone, and welcome to the next game on the channel that the spinner chose because I'm very indecisive. We are going to take on Sherlock Holmes' Nemesis. It looks like we're going to hopefully take this guy down over here. I don't know much about the game. This is going to be a blind playthrough. I do know that it's one of the older point-and-click Sherlock Holmes games. And by Frogwares, that's about all I know. We're gonna hit new here. Dive right in. Alright, see, we're undertaking to portray Sherlock Holmes, the famous consulting detective of 221B Baker Street, London. During this case, we have to demonstrate both sagacity and calm. Observe well the items around you and don't hesitate to click on them. Once you have required information, you will obtain comments that will help in your hunt. Do not forget to interrogate anybody who may be able to inform you. Choose the right questions and pay heed to their answers. Assure yourself that you aren't caught short by your adversary. Is it Arsène Lupin? We'll throw a number of challenges at you which will demand you are subtle and methodical. Thus, in the course of your investigations, you will have need of pencil and paper. Certain riddles will require reflection worthy of your hero. It will be challenging. At certain moments, you will need to type a keyword in response to a question in order to continue the adventure. You are at liberty to consult your notes in order to help yourself. Do not forget to read the documents that you will have gathered and glance through Sherlock's notes. They are all important. In order to advance your inquest, you will have at your disposition plans and maps which will permit you to teleport. Well, that's good. I like fast travel. By clicking on given points, you may equally make your character run by double-clicking with the left mouse button. England's honor is at stake. Do not disappoint your adversary. Okay. Must be going to Baker Street now. I do like the violin music. It's very nice. July 14th, 1895.
It looks to be the beginning of a lovely day, Holmes. There's nothing like beginning the week with a sunny Monday, with nothing more pressing to do than to see what came in the post. Would you care to take a ride up the Thames today?
I think not, Watson.
Listen, Holmes, your mood has been getting progressively worse for the past 2 weeks. I know you, and I am certain that something is bothering you. It wouldn't be bad news from Switzerland, would it?
We would already be on a boat heading towards the continent were that the case, my dear Watson.
Very well, then, what is it? Let me guess. For the past 2 weeks, the papers have talked of nothing other than this French thief, Arsène Lupin. He's been making all of the police officers on the continent look like complete idiots. You're taking an obvious pleasure out of reading these articles.
My dear Watson.
I've put my finger on it, haven't I? I know you well. Something tells me that you will not entertain talk of this Lupin for some time. Do you recall his latest feat? Using an alias, he seduced a young Italian princess in order to rob her of a priceless set of diamond jewellery that once belonged to the Medici. These jewels were to be part of the lady's dowry on the occasion of her marriage to the son of a wealthy, influential Sicilian. Finally, our friend, having committed his crime, left word for the local press, explaining that there was no other way for the charming lass to escape a marriage of convenience with, I quote, an uncultivated and uncouth boor without the least refinement. Since then, the lady has been confined to a convent, and rumour has it that the two outraged fathers have jointly offered a sum of countless millions of liras for the head, the rest of the body being optional, of the man who is responsible for their dishonour. Are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? Why, another letter from the zoo about those missing birds, as if we were going to be running around the whole of London chasing chickens. As I was saying, are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? This Arsène Lupin must be in hiding somewhere, surrounded by bottles of champagne and stolen treasures. How foolhardy and arrogant. Oh, these French. However, he didn't pursue this foolishness to the point of risking stepping onto British soil.
Has the cat got your tongue, Watson? What? Whatever is the matter with you, Watson? Pray tell.
This letter on the table. Holmes, read it.
Okay. To move in the game, just left click on the destination you want. Ooh. Okay. Dear Mr. Holmes, before I begin, please excuse any grammatical or spelling errors that you might notice. Your language isn't my native tongue, as I come from the continent, France to be exact. In addition, my singular subjects of conversation, whether they be oral or written, are the most exquisite food and wine, the noblest arts, and the sublimest women. The whole world knows that you, people of Her Most Gracious Majesty, do not produce or even discern any manifestation of aesthetic intelligence and civilization that sets men apart from beasts. Thus, the opportunities to practice your language are sporadic and brief. What use is there to linger with a lackey or maid? But look, you see I have made a mistake, or rather an execrable mistranslation. For not knowing English, she knows pretty large words. I said, the people of Her Most Gracious blah blah blah. I should have said the people of blah 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 other than you. How can I include you in this half ruddy-faced, half pallid crowd reeking of brine and cheap beer? Wow. You stand apart an icon, having followed your exploits from some time and being interested in your unusual personality. I started to see in you a man of intelligence, ingenuity, and singular refinement. The incredible results in your activities and the manner in which you achieve them are marked with the seal of genius. Believe me, despite the lamentable opinion that I hold for the inhabitants of your island, I have for you an admiration without limit, which reached its apogee recently when I discovered you have a French ancestor. What unlucky stars brought you to the world elsewhere than in the motherland? The motherland I call my own. That should have been your own. Perhaps the gods desire that your presence on this island bring up the intellectual average that was so low it bordered on the absurd. The business that brings me to write this letter may bring an answer to this question. You see, events without antecedent will occur in London in the week to come, beginning on the very night of the day in which you read this letter. The purpose of these events is to bring to light a fraud, the arrogance and vanity of the English. Enough of the haughty, boring composure that the English present us when passion should be freely expressed. Enough of the derisive confidence in England's impregnability, which is displayed by all your politicians and soldiers. The English fortress is being protected by seas serving as moats. Enough of your supposed symbols of majesty and grandeur of spirit, which are in fact merely the fruits of looting and plundering. England has measured the world by its stingy, superior smile for far too long. Thus I, Arsène Lupin have pledged to get rid of this smile. To that end, in the week to come, I pledge to steal 5 of the most representational symbols of the alleged English grandeur here in London. Once these auspicious achievements have been accomplished, I will exhibit the trophies for the world to see and will reveal the smallness of a nation incapable of preserving its pride. England will become the laughingstock of all nations, from the largest to the smallest. Will have to swallow its pride and lower its head for millennia to come. Oh, this is a long letter. Imagine these self-righteous and perfidious faces who ordinarily parade the fact that they are one of Her Majesty's people will henceforward hide their origins. Being English will no longer be grounds for pride, but rather shame. In brief, the debts will be paid. You are perhaps asking yourself why I have chosen to share with you my vision, which many who don't know me would consider mad. After all, if my former praises are well-founded, you are certainly the only person in England capable of stopping my plan. Like myself, you are fully aware of the inefficiency and the flagrant lack of imagination that plagues your police service. The reason for this letter is eminently narcissistic. No exceptional artist desires to produce their work for an uncultured public incapable of appreciating the true value of his prowess and talent. In you, I have found the ideal spectator, and I wish for you to follow the stages of my consecration step by step. In fact, I would almost wish for you to put yourself in my path, and in vain to stop me from committing these thefts. But you are a busy man who doesn't like defeat. What a shame. Ugh. If, despite everything, the adventure tempts you anyway, I shall leave you a few verses that deal with tonight's target. All across France, everyone knows in the blind's kingdom you only need one eye for the crown. You treat us like blind men, it shows. 'Twas a one-eyed, one-armed man who brought us down. It is true that we failed, that we tried again. Our fate was nailed, his immortality our pain. One of the Spanish capes, the detestable pride that hangs around you like drapes, our suffering makes you snide. An adversary came along in order to protect victory. We were put in the wrong and the day made history. Save the pain and defeat, the worst in this game is that the hero we did meet carries a French name. Clearly did vengeance sound what I have in mind for this traitor. Sitting at his master's feet like a hound is to be run aground. On my honor tonight to hand, I will break free the binding so that all may understand our victory will take wing. Personnel. Watson. Okay.
Holmes, this is truly unbelievable. Surely this cannot be taken seriously.
It's possible, Watson, that this letter is nothing but a prank. However, a small chance exists that both the challenge and the threat are real.
What will you do?
First, I'm going to enjoy the breakfast Mrs. Hudson has prepared. If you would be so good, Watson, as to clarify some of the riddles in the letter. Firstly, if Arsène Lupin is actually the author, as he states, why does he sign with another name? When it comes to the poem, even if an answer seems straightforward, we must be quite certain. What would the target of tonight's theft be if this letter turns out to be accurate? We have one day to find the solution and to take preventative measures. You could go see Barnes, the bookstore in Glentworth Street. Surely they'll have something that will be informative.
All right, so now we're Dr. Watson. Sorry if you hear some, extracurricular chewing
This accursed statue
in
is
the
still
background.
here. I've asked Mrs. Hudson to remove it for us.
Get the boyfriend's puppy.
This is how Holmes organizes his correspondence that is awaiting responses. If only his clients saw that.
I need something to keep him busy so he stays away from chewing all my other stuff.
Colonel Gordon. It was during the affair of the lodger in treatment.
It's a metronome.
My eccentric companion keeps his shag tobacco in the toe of this Persian slipper. It was in this statue that we found the famous black pearl of the Borgias.
Okay, I think... Oh, I have it over here.
Holmes's table for experiments.
Can't wait to
A
use that.
motley collection.
Okay, so... I forgot. What are we supposed to do? Oops. Wrong menu. I gotta go all the way down to the bottom here. Really? Scrolling. Was it documents, maybe? I forgot what he said. Barnes Bookstore. Okay. I don't know where that is, so we're gonna have to go find it. Alright. Is this how we get out? Yep. Alright. Let's go do some exploration. I also turned the music off because I know some of it can have copyright on it. Probably heard it for the first few cutscenes and then the letter and... Is it this way? I don't... Ah, Barnes Bookstore. Here we go.
Poor Barnes should hire a cleaning lady. Oh, what a mess.
They're not bad. You can still see the floor. Alright. Nothing over here. Nope. Barnes.
Gnithruth, Gunruth, Kudwilm, Lizrit, Sublilha.
Alright. Looks like he's working on something.
Good day, Barnes.
Hello, Dr. Watson. How are you? I didn't hear you enter.
Are you busy? Am I disturbing you?
Not at all. I was researching, but if you came to see me, it must be that you're looking for something specific. Perhaps I can help you?
Yes, I...
A
question.
very strange affair, bewildering even, has brought me to see you. An affair involving a Spanish cape and a one-eyed, one-armed man.
Most certainly. You will find the works dealing with naval history on one of the shelves somewhere.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll
Naval
go look.
history. Wonder what shelf. Clearly not labeled. Oh, here we go. Alright. Upon his return, he astounded many with his taste for raw meat and his sudden onslaught of salivation. When I quote his housekeeper, local college students or uniformed conscripts passed in front of the windows of the living room. He died 2 years later to a fatal fall while attempting to battle the weathercock atop Edensbrough's bell tower with a sculpture that he had made out of clay and briar chips representing the supposed offspring of the Duke of Kent and a hedgehog. Interesting. Looks like Horatio Nelson, first Viscount Nelson, born in Burnham Thorpe, Norfolk in 1758. We owe to Admiral Nelson some of the most beautiful pages of the Royal Navy's history, charged with intercepting Bonaparte. Oh, en route for Egypt, he conquered the French fleet in the Battle of the Nile in 1798. Not content to rest on his laurels, in 1799 he recaptured Naples from the revolutionaries, and was made Duke of Bronte in 1800. The death of this unrivaled seaman, who had already given his body in the service of his country, he had one arm amputated and lost the sight in one eye, was his crowning moment. He died triumphing over Admiral Villeneuve during the Battle of Trafalgar, despite being inferior in terms of numbers, but through the grace of a courage and audacity. Wow, reading is hard today. Without compare. A representative tale of Nelson occurred during a former battle when the flag captain warned him that the commander was signaling retreat. Admiral Nelson, convinced they were to be victorious, held the telescope to his blind eye and said, "I really do not see the signal." Thus he continued to battle, coming out victorious. Well, that's funny.
Ah, here's my book, The Great English Sailors.
Nothing like using your blind eye. I don't see
As it happens, I found this book, and...
Excuse me, my dear Dr. Watson, but I am in need of tranquility.
Well, farewell, Barnes.
All right, so now... Map. Ah, let's go here. I like transporting. Fast travel is my favorite. Sherlock.
Now tell me, Watson, what progress have you made? Have you found the meaning of the mysterious signature?
Okay, so who is RC? Where is it? Horatio? No, isn't it an anagram? I wonder if it's an anagram. Horatio Nelson?
It's an anagram, Holmes.
It is.
The letters in Arsino Lotino can be used to spell out Horatio Nelson.
That's a welcome confirmation. No doubt the target of the theft is somehow connected with the Battle of Trafalgar, won by Admiral Lord Nelson at the expense of the French. Nelson, who lost an eye and an arm in battle, has a statue high atop a column in Trafalgar Square. It says that the object of the theft is sitting at his master's feet. There's nothing to steal on this column. We have a map of London here somewhere. Let's see if we can find a site of interest near Trafalgar Square.
Trafalgar Square. Okay, so I gotta find a map of London. Where the heck could that be?
It's a coal bucket in which Holmes stores his cigars. What a strange idea.
It's a little odd.
Ha! I found it at last.
Couldn't click
the
on anything
map of
before.
London.
So, according to you, what is there to steal in Trafalgar Square? Show me on the map, Watson.
Okay. The map of London. Trafalgar Square. I'm assuming that's to be here. National Gallery of
The
Painting.
only location visible is the National Gallery of Painting, which faces the column.
Why not? Our man wants to steal a painting, but which one? Watson, shall we head out? Let's take a tour of the National Gallery. While you find us a hansom, I'll send a message to Lestrade to have him join us.
Handsome. Is it like a chauffeur? Did they have chauffeurs back then? Ooh, carriage. Are you a handsome?
Ah, Lamb, good timing. Can you give myself and my friend Sherlock a lift?
With pleasure, Dr. Watson. The mistress, Miss Bromsby, gave me the day off. I'll wait for you.
Ooh. Okay. So we'll start over here with this guy.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and welcome to the National Gallery of Painting. As it's such a lovely day outside, you're the only visitors at the moment, and likely will be for the whole day, as the minimum number of people for a guided tour is...
We're not here to visit the museum, young man. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Sherlock Holmes, the famous detective?
Indeed, I have reason to believe that a theft is being planned that will take place here, perhaps as early as today.
A robbery?
I'm not certain, but there is a good reason to believe that is the case. We have contacted Inspector Lestrade at Scotland Yard, and he should be joining us momentarily. Meanwhile, rest assured that we are here in an official capacity. In the meantime, you can certainly help us. One of the paintings will play a part in the matter, but I don't yet know exactly which one. I do, however, have a few clues that should tell something to a specialist like yourself.
Ah, yes, of course. As it happens, I've only been working here for 3 days. Actually, I'm an apprentice, and my duties here are essentially administrative.
Pray tell, would I be correct in deducing that the elder of the two men that we can see up there is the director of the museum?
Yes, that is Sir Pointer. He could certainly assist you better than I, but at the moment he's terribly occupied, and will be for some time.
But the location that you are proposing is unworthy of my work. All of my pieces are hymns to color and light. It's the very stars, the sun that you want to extinguish.
Please understand, dear sir, the entrance hall is reserved for temporary exhibitions. We are able to add more lighting.
In that case, you would have to provide lanterns across the whole length of the ceiling, and to use the most refined oil possible. Definitely not gas. And mirrors to reflect the light, along with some canvases in basic colors to bring out the contrasts.
We will do all that we possibly can.
Nevertheless, I insist that a number of my works must be on the main floor next to the large pieces.
But our rooms are already full, and, as you know, each has its specific subject. Too much modernism?
How can there be too much modernism? Modernism doesn't exist. Only art exists. Art is timeless. Art is cosmic.
Well, sir, perhaps we should continue this conversation in my office.
Very passionate up there. Says I can't look, no.
Then you must certainly have a ledger of the works that are shown in the museum, with a description of each painting.
Yes, Sir Pointer entrusted it to my care this morning so I could familiarize myself with the collection, but I lost it. I know I make a rather feeble archivist, but while I was doing a tour of the museum, the painting that Mr. Pointer is now dealing with arrived, along with cases full of canvases that he had to quickly inventory.
The case of the missing ledger. What do you make of it, Watson? Listen, Mr.
Palinor, sir.
Palinor, my friend and I will make our way through the museum in order to find the ledger. If you lost it while touring the museum and it wasn't back on the desk, then it must be in one of the galleries. Stay here and we will return to see you when we have found it, and not a word of it to the director.
Certainly, sir. With many thanks. I will continue to do my inventory and await you.
Blueprint.
Tell me, young man, would you happen to have a blueprint of the building in order to facilitate the task at hand?
Ah, yes. Where did I put it? Oh, yes, here it is.
Then you must certainly
Oops.
have a ledger.
Yes, I know.
The case of the missing... Listen, Mr.
I
Palinor.
didn't mean to click that.
Farewell, Palinor.
I like that the mouse pointer is a hand holding a pipe. That's pretty funny. Okay. Let me start here.
German gallery.
This is the German gallery. Sorry,
Van
Gunners.
Dyck in person.
Really
This artist
going
had a
to
huge
town.
influence on English portraitists. He is considered to be the creator of the English school of painting.
There's a lot of different hallways. This is kind of cool. Let's see. anything
English
here?
Painters Hall.
English painters.
English Painters Hall.
Well, that's still English. I don't think we can get through there, can we? It's a map. No, it doesn't look like it, so... Okay. Oh, is this the ledger?
It seems that we've found the famous ledger. It's written in shorthand, and there are hundreds of entries. Let's bring it to the archivist.
Okay. Going for a jog through the museum here. Go this way. Probably a better way to get to them, but I like taking scenic routes. There we go.
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
Farewell, Palinor.
I have to have it like selected in my... Yeah, there we go. Oh, we can talk to him. We should be
Yes,
able to
Mr.
do
Holmes?
it. The
Here's
ledger.
your ledger, my friend.
You found it! Many thanks. You won't say anything to Sir Pointer.
Rest assured, are you familiar with how the entries are written? Everything seems to be abbreviated.
I understand how to locate a thematic group and how to read a description, but I am struggling with the location codes.
It's better than nothing at the moment. We're searching for a painting that has a connection to the Battle of Trafalgar.
Depicting what exactly?
According to this poem, it could be...
Oh, God. What was the painting based on? Like a ship?
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
Oh. Boat. Okay.
It might refer to a boat. Its master was Admiral Nelson, and the thief wanted to run it aground. Moreover, the boat would have a French name.
Wait, I have a suggestion. A very popular painting, symbolic even, the Fighting Temeraire, a Turner. In this painting, Turner is described as having mastered painting techniques, and it is one of the most beautiful English paintings of all time. The subject, a boat by the French name of Temeraire, was involved in the Battle of Trafalgar and distinguished itself by protecting Victory, the flagship on board which was...
Victory, did you say?
Yes, Admiral Nelson was on board. Temeraire received a special distinction, but I am not certain of which. The painting shows it being towed to the breaker's yard, I believe.
Okay.
Where would I find it?
I don't know. You would have to search through the English works of this century near the west section of the gallery.
My thanks, Palinor. Come, Watson, let's take a look at the painting.
All right. English, eh? Let's see. Dutch, English, so over here, maybe? Ah.
Here's what I've been looking for.
I gotta look at this one.
The Fighting Temeraire. Splendid. What do you think?
I agree, it's splendid. The existence of this painting would seem to give credit to this whole affair.
As long as this painting remains on this wall, this letter, even if it is eloquent and provocative, is nothing more than a letter. It is possible that all of this could be a hoax with no substance whatsoever. We will know soon enough, as the theft will have to take place tonight.
We must warn the museum's director, Holmes.
You are correct, Watson. Shall we?
We shall. There we go.
Fantastic! Superb!
There, Maestro. I believe that everything is settled.
This collaboration will be my crowning glory, my masterpiece. Merci!
I have finished the inventory of the works of art, Director. Oh, and I have the pleasure of introducing the great detective Sherlock Holmes and his companion, Dr. Watson.
Good day, gentlemen. It's with pleasure that I welcome you to our gallery. I trust that you are here for pleasure and not business?
I'm afraid that is not the case.
Oh,
When it is no longer a matter of art, the artist must make his excuses. Messieurs, until we meet again, no need to accompany me. I know the way.
He knows the way.
my apologies, gentlemen. Have you been waiting long?
Mr. Palinor was able to answer all of our most urgent questions. Tell me, who was that man who just left?
That was Horace Valmont, a French painter. One of the best, seemingly. His letters of recommendation come from some of the grandest salons in Paris.
A Frenchman? Let's take a look, Watson.
Yes, he's very avant-garde. He heard that we were showing the works of modern painters during our temporary exhibitions. He has loaned us a number of paintings and has promised to donate those that have the greatest success to the museum.
Lestrade, just in time. And the Frenchman, Watson?
Gone?
Director, this is Inspector Lestrade from Scotland Yard. Lestrade, this is the Director of the National Gallery, Sir Pointer, and his assistant, Mr. Palinor. Lestrade, would you have your constable on duty guard the entrance and make sure that nobody comes into the museum? Director, is there anything else?
No, but...
If you would care to follow me, I'll show you what the motivation behind all of this is. The reason for this little gathering is this letter that I received at my lodgings this morning. Without getting into too much detail, it claims that this painting, The Fighting Temeraire, will be stolen tonight.
Pardon?
There now. It's because of a letter that you've disturbed me. You believe that?
I would never have taken the liberty to disturb you if this letter, the authenticity of which I must admit hasn't been completely confirmed, was not written by the one and only Arsène Lupin.
Arsène Lupin?
Arsène Lupin?
Arsenal? Who? Lou? What?
Arsène Lupin, the most wanted cat burglar in the world. We will know soon enough whether or not this letter is a fake, or if I had reason to disturb you, Lestrade. But you must understand that we couldn't take even the slightest chance.
Perhaps. Why not simply put this thing under lock and key in the bank or at Scotland Yard?
We cannot risk storing the painting in an improper environment or to entrust it to anyone who calls it a thing.
All that would achieve would be to shift the problem. This painting is priceless. Beware he who would harm it. What I propose, Lestrade, is to do a tour of the museum with Sir Pointer in order to check any possible points of break and entry, and leave 2 men on duty here tonight. In addition, Director, you must close the museum to the public and not let anyone else in.
If you feel it's necessary.
And you, Holmes?
I'll pass by tomorrow at dawn. We'll know then what we're up against. Should the unthinkable have occurred, I insist that nothing is touched until I arrive. Is that clear? Let's be off, Watson.
Okay.
Listen, Inspector, I have a lot of work to take care of. It would be better if I leave you to do a tour by yourself. You are, after all, a professional. Here are the keys to all of the locked doors. If you need me, I'll be in my office.
Okay, so we
Well,
get to...
I best inspect the museum to find any of Lupin's possible exits, including mice holes.
Can we look in this chest? No. That'd be a hiding spot. Okay. Anything here?
We need a cannon to force this door down. The lock is too big to be jimmied, and I'll leave a man on duty in place. If Lupin does come, it won't be that way.
It won't be that way. No, no. Jeez. He's really going to town on that bone.
No. No exits on this side. Nothing to report.
Okay. Figured I'd start here.
No. No exits on this side. Nothing to report.
Okay. My four-legged
No.
security
No exits
system
on this side. Nothing to report.
is like at the alert and ready to... Oh, do we get to go... Can we go in here? Ah.
Ha ha! There is a possible entry. If someone wanted to descend from the roof here, he'd need a lot of time, and it wouldn't be a quiet business. But I'd be wise to leave a man on duty here, and he will signal the alarm at any suspicious movement coming from the roof. Arsène Lupin. It's you and I now.
Okay. So we got the roof. We got like painting stuff in his... What room is this? I can't look at the map. Okay. I don't even know where I am.
It's dark in this box room. Good.
Okay.
No windows, no possible entry.
No windows, no entry.
No. No exits on this side.
Okay.
Nothing to report.
So basically the window and the front door.
I will make sure there are no windows, and therefore ways in. Here.
Do your work. I will draw a map for you, Inspector.
Wait for tonight. There. The director and his underling have left. Time for us to play now. It could be that this whole robbery is nothing but nonsense. If not, we're prepared. And this Lupin will play right into our hands. I'll lock the main door to the museum, and you will be locked in. Jeffries is on duty in Trafalgar Square, and the yard is nearby. Nothing to worry about there. The doors leading in will be locked, but you will each have everything you need to open them. Stay hidden and cover your light so you cannot be seen from the roof. You, Lockhart, will be stationed near the painting itself. At the least provocation, go down to the entrance and sound the alarm. The walls are too thick, so you will have to go down for your whistle to be heard. In case of real trouble, be sure to fire with deadly accuracy, because if you even graze one of the paintings, your great-grandchildren will still be paying off your debts. Finally, you'll just have to be content with your lanterns. Gas is too expensive. Let's go, men. Keep your wits about you. You'll be relieved at 4 a.m.
Later. Okay, here we go. You just gas him with a train? Oh no, this is not good. Not good at all. What's he gonna use with this? Just like looking around. Air balloon, of course. Guy's an expert.
Go on, you cantankerous codger. You have work to do.
You're right, Holmes. The constable below was indeed asked to deliver us a letter. It's from Lestrade.
Nothing good can come from such urgency.
Indeed, Holmes. This time, without doubt, the painting has disappeared. According to what he's written, they've turned the National Gallery upside down looking for it. Our presence is required immediately.
Well, Watson, the game is afoot.
Should we not have enlisted more men from the force to protect the painting?
I think that a whole brigade could not have stopped Lupin. And, of course, we can now be certain that it was he who was behind the theft. First and foremost, the police have a city and lives to protect, and we must respect that. Watson, a hansom will be hard to find at this hour, and Billy, our page, is sick. Would you be so good as to flag one down while I take a moment to reread this letter?
Yesterday, I was a doctor. And now,
So funny.
I've become a valet.
Oh, Watson. All right, I'm going to end the video here. We have the opening crime, and the next episode we'll investigate it and see where our investigations lead us next. Thank you all for watching, all your support, and I'll catch you next time.